The Kontra I Piligru exercise is one that tests the island's emergency responders' readiness, their capability, their level of training, and their level of competency. I have got two members of Familia and Blas here right now, Jenna and Joe.
Half a day.
I feel safer already, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, two Blases, what can you do?
Exactly, like I'm in very good company and everything, but you are actually representing much larger organizations who will be participating in this. Is it an annual event, Jenna?
It is annual.
Okay. How many units or how many different interagency teams actually interact with each other in it?
So there are upwards of about 20 agencies that are participating this year.
That's big.
It is. It's a very large one.
And so, Joe, I remember covering this event, I think maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, and they're staged events, but they're meant to simulate chaotic situations.
They're staged events or for exercise purposes, but the participants know nothing about when it's going to happen and what exactly or the details of it's happening, because we need to see how they're going to respond.
What better way to train somebody than throw them into a crazy, and there are evaluators all over the place, and they're what are they looking for?
They're actually evaluating the 94th Civil Support Team from the Guam National Guard. And annually, the civil support teams actually throughout the nation have to be evaluated up to 12 times a year. But this particular one, we want to see exactly how we're going to respond with our local and federal responders right here on Guam.
Now, Jenna, of course, you are in kind of like ground central or like ground zero for all things information when you're over at Civil Defense. What is your agency's role going to be like this year when everybody's training?
So this year, we're really trying to test the abilities of our 24/7 watch desk. So normally we would stand up what's called our Emergency Operations Center, where we would have partner agencies participate with us. This year we're really focusing on our watch desks, and we're really excited to be able to do that this year.
Now, is that one of the things, because I know, again, when I was covering this a few years ago, I remember distinctly because it was a staged, I think it was a hazmat emergency. So they said like a chemical weapon may have gone off or something like that. So you had people who were highly trained in dealing with those kind of injuries. They were setting up a perimeter. They were making like some medical triage unit and everything like that. But Jenna, I'm sure your responsibilities, there's also going to be like a lot of civilians in a real life scenario that would be calling, that would be freaking out or say like, hey, something's happening and everything. I don't know what to do. I need help.
That's right. So this is a very large exercise. It's going to be happening island-wide. So there's going to be a lot of heightened emergency response activity. So we do anticipate getting some calls from the public, and that's why we're really trying to push out that message that not to be too alarmed. There's just going to be heightened emergency response. There's definitely going to be some very large explosions. We've done that in the past, some helicopter activity, a lot of sirens and horns. So you'll just be seeing a lot of heightened emergency response activity.
Now, between now and then, people are just going to forget because that's, you know, the way things
are. We hope not.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're going to remind people like each and every day.
Right,
but, you know, if something comes up on Facebook and they're being like, oh, look at this deal on Amazon, and then, you know, it slips their mind. But the training places are going to be clearly marked, as I would assume?
That's right. So safety is really the priority of this exercise. It's something that was put in the initial planning stages, was safety as the top priority. So all of these will be controlled exercise activities. All of the different locations have already been assessed and scouted. They've already deemed how they're going to keep the area safe and cordoned off for the public. But if you need more information, you can always check in with Guam Homeland Security. We'll have updates on our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also have a 24-hour line that will be operational at that time. It's a highly publicized line. We have 475-9600. We encourage the public to call in if they have any concerns. And Major Joe brought up a good point earlier about if there is an actual emergency.
If there is an actual emergency, we're telling the public, go ahead and call 911 or call your local police department or call Homeland Security and just say there's something going on. And you know, in fact, it may be a real world situation, and if it is, we'll respond. But if not, we'll let them know that no, this is a simulated exercise, nothing to worry about. But there's going to be emergency response vehicles going up and down the island, like she said, and not only that, a lot of helicopter activity. So we just don't want the public to be alarmed. And call us if you have a question.
Well, we've got your back too, because we know you're going to keep us well informed, and we're just your bullhorn. We're going to make sure that hey, everything's cool. It's a training exercise. You know.
We hope to see you out at some of the sites.
Yeah, you can watch from a safe distance. No, you've actually given us the opportunity to cover many of those and everything like that. And you know, it's interesting because again, it is a very awkward situation. There's a lot of controlled chaos in there. But at the same time, when you look at the professionalism with the way that the responders and the operators conduct themselves and everything like that, you feel absolutely safe and secure.
Absolutely. Right. And if the public also has a chance to take a look at it, they can see that, and they can rest assured that if a real world incident does happen, between the 94 CST and the local responders, we're going to be prepared.
Okay, so I know this is going to come up. This isn't something I knew we were going to talk about, but some people just want to say, I want to get a really good Instagram story of like some video because there's, you know, I know Kontra I Piligru is going on. I want to get like a really good video and share it with my friends in the States, or, you know, just get a selfie because I want like 15 more likes, right? If they want to observe from a safe distance and everything like that, the areas will be marked off and everything, but like how can people like observe it if they want to?
Well, similar to like what Jenna was saying, we'll invite the media out there, and if it's safe, of course, the public will be able to view it as well.
Excellent.
Some of the instances will be happening in public areas. We can name a few. We don't want to give away too many of the details or the exact times or locations, but we can anticipate seeing some activity at the Dedito Sports Complex and even the 2 courts here on Guam.
The Micronesian Mall. I think Tangisan Power Plant's probably the most out of the way place that there's really no activity going on right there, but we'll be there as well.
Do you remember how much I pressed you, Jenna, for like, what, 3-4 years ago when I was like, Jenna, you got to tell me where you guys are going to do your thing.
And you
you're
went.
Like, no.
Yeah, but you went to one. I
yeah,
remember.
when you finally told me like
Yeah.
5 minutes before it started, you're like, okay, here's where we're going to be. You need to get down here right now. And we're like, all right, let's do that.
That's
Yeah,
right.
So that is part of training, though, to make sure that information is disseminated in a timely way and that it handles and that it doesn't get out of control.
Right.
That's correct.
Okay, so what else should people know about this exercise and what it means to the future of safety here and our emergency response community's ability to handle very unforeseen situations?
Well, just like in the military, we're constantly doing things over and over and over. So if there is a real world situation, we'll be prepared not only to handle it, but to handle it successfully. And so we like to let the public know that we are well prepared, well trained, and you know we have their safety and their best interests in mind.
Okay, so Jenna, final word with you. When is the, we can't talk about the where, and we
Right.
completely respect that, but over how many days is this going to happen and when does this start?
Right, so this begins Tuesday, July 30th, all the way through Wednesday, July 31st. So it can be between 24 hours to 36 hours. We won't know exactly when it's going to end, or we won't put that out to the public until it's actually over. We don't want to hinder the exercise, but it's going to be over a 2-day period, all the way into the evening. We don't anticipate the public being hindered in the evening exercises, but definitely throughout the day you might hear or see some activity.
Well, we as civilians want to make sure that you guys do the very best job that you can and everything. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And like I said, this is one of a dozen exercises that the 94 CST has to participate in and successfully conduct or conclude. So, you know, we just want to make sure that we do what we need to do as well.